Hey all, here is my layout for the next challenge in course 2, and I actually had a little bit of difficulty getting this to where I really like it, and I'm going to guess that maybe some of you are going to actually do this better than me. So here is your challenge, and it is to make this box. It's not a box. They're actually supposed to be letters that have the top of them elongated and the front of them here. And so let's go ahead and take this away and get back to some basics. I am in the regular version of Photoshop Elements. I may fumble a little bit because I've actually begun working more in the full version of Photoshop, just because ever since I think 11, where they had these toolbar options at the bottom that take up so much room and you can't see your screen, I have begun using the full version. And I haven't actually had Photoshop Elements opened in quite a while. So, but I want all of these tutorials to be able to be done in Photoshop Elements. And so basically, let's go ahead and turn on, I have this text that I made, and I scooched the letters out in the full version of Photoshop to match my squares. And let's turn off this text here, it's kind of in the way. And in Photoshop Elements, I would probably put each letter on one layer because that would be so much easier. And then I simply, let's see, got to open up, see the tool options to get the square. I tried right clicking, which is what I preferred to do. And I am going to create a new layer, and I'm going to draw a square, and I could use the paint bucket to fill it, but I prefer to hit Control Backspace or Alt Backspace, and it fills it with whatever your foreground or background color is, and Control D to deselect. Let's put this on a layer below my text so that we can kind of nudge it. And then I'm going to hit Control J to duplicate it, and just keep drawing it or moving it to the side. Control J to duplicate it. And now these boxes are a little off from my originals. And when I did it, I actually separated them a little bit. I'm going to delete these and show you my originals, so that because they line up with I'm showing you my other boxes. And so this is mine that I had originally all lined up. And then I did the same thing as you were seeing, and I created another, whoops, I turned that off, another box, and I had it line up directly with each box. See this one here I created, and then I just duplicated it also and moved it over until it was one with each of the bottom boxes. Now I wish I had at this point, and I could have gone back, but I wish I would have put some sort of style on this and on the letters. And I wish I would have maybe put my paper at this point already on these layers, but I did not do that. But if you would like to, that would be a good idea to bring in some digital scrapbooking paper and group them with the blocks, or your letters, do something with your letters. But I ended up doing it later. So that would be a suggestion. And then I went ahead and I turned off all of my other layers. I'm trying to find them all. Okay, is that all of them? And so here we are up here, and all the other layers are turned off, and I simply hit Shift, Control, Alt, and E, and it combined all of these layers into a new layer. And so I turned off these original layers, made them invisible, and now everything was grouped together. And so after that, I was able to use the tools. Of course, the tools are much better in the full version of Photoshop, but I'm going to link you up with some other tutorials in Course 2 for you to view to learn these skills. But basically, I'm going to hold down the Control key, and I'm going to play with this until I get a good perspective on it. I think I turned it. I don't even remember what I did. You just have to keep playing with the perspective. Let's see, I think I want it to be smaller in the center, which means I want to bring out these edges, but the back needs to be in. So you just need to keep playing with it until you get something that looks good when you're playing with it for perspective. So let's go ahead, and where's the one we're working on? I'm going to make that invisible. And here is the one where I played with it till I got the perspective I thought worked. And then you would add a drop shadow and then put that drop shadow on its own layer. And I have tutorials for that, but here is my drop shadow that I had. Let's turn the paper on because it makes it better for the drop shadow. And so you would play with your drop shadow until you got it right with the right perspective. And then I actually added a couple papers, and here's a paper, and it's got an overlay on it. It's clipped to my blocks, and I'm going to suggest you probably want something lighter on the top. That really helps because your front is going to be, of your blocks are going to actually be darker, and your tops are going to be lighter because of the way the light is going to be hitting them. So if you don't use paper, at least use, you can see here I have a gradient that I actually applied to it first, and then I did clip this paper here and that paper there. And I think, what did I add here? I actually added some brush work. You can see there's a line here, and I actually made the fronts of the blocks to have some variation of light. And then I added this text, which really helps. I think the things that you add to the top are really going to help give it perspective. You see the drop shadow that I have on it. If you add other things to it, it might help with perspective, like if you put, on some element like a bow or a little bear or something on top of the blocks. I think it'll also help. But anyway, that's kind of what I did, and I look forward to seeing what you do with it.